55.
Sir.
Oh.
I cannot believe I'm dying to this wave ever.
But can't walk.
Cleveland applesauce.
Oh, look, you should 100% put that on Newgrounds because I want to build a layout with it so badly.
We're just using non.
I probably would if I ever get around to it, I'll just non. But
I actually have a song on Newgrounds.
do you?
Yeah.
You do not.
I'll give you the ID.
Once you make music 3.
Okay.
Like, you gotta...
I just got a 2-second long frame drop and had the thought to pause it. It's recoverable. I'm going to deafen again. Whew. Oh my god, I beat it that attempt. Holy shit.
I literally just...
Holy shit.
Gonna beat it?
Holy shit.
2 seconds ago.
Well,
Yes.
Pie's gonna beat it, and then... No,
I had
a second later.
I had a 2-second, I kid you not, 2-second long frame drop at 38, and I had the thought to pause mid-frame drop because whenever it loads the next frame, it'll pause me back there. So that when I press play, I resume from where the frame drop started, not where it ended, so I could finish the attempt normally. And I beat it! Holy shit!
I gotta see that frame drop. I really...
Oh, it'll be in the video, don't worry about it. Alright, I'm gonna deafen.
Okay, cool.
Holy shit. Oh. Oh my god. That's one of the crazier completions I've had. Holy shit. Okay, so Betrayal of Fate by weoweoteo. I think this level has aged stellarly from 2.0. I think a lot of this level is fucking phenomenal. This is super skill-based in every aspect. There's very little of this level that feels like janky or weird. The parts that do we'll get to, and they were kind of annoying. But so much of this level is just pure skill-based gameplay. The memory is done well. I don't know, I really liked this. I can see why a lot of people consider this a classic. Nexus loved this, but I mean, Nexus likes everything, so that doesn't say much. But I can see why people absolutely love Betrayal of Fate. However, I had a few issues with it. So, first issue I had, the transition from wave to UFO at, I want to say, just like the end of 17, start of 18%, was egregious. That was pretty terrible, because the portal's blind, it's a speed transition, it depends heavily on how you enter the portal, and you're coming into the 2-click wave completely blind to begin with, and inconsistently to begin with, because the teleport portal in is angled. So though that little transition from wave to UFO was disgusting and truly felt like RNG. There was nothing I could do to get better at it. There was nothing I could do to plan for it. It was truly just you do 2 clicks with the wave, you do 3 clicks with the UFO, and hope you survived it. There was no nuance to that I could find, at least at all, to improve. It was just fucking send until you get past 18. Then we had the very, very, very terrible... While I'm talking about this, let me calculate the temps. 2541. We had the absolutely awful ball clicks in the next part. Can I do that in my head? Yes. 2814. right? Yes. So then we had the absolutely terrible ball clicks. Let's go into the editor so I can show you these ball clicks. So right here, right? This ball click here, this ball click immediately after it, this one right here, and then later on, this one, which doesn't look bad, but this platform moves to the right, so it is really bad. The first three that I highlighted are 7 frames on 288, and this one is an 8 frame on 288. They were just disgusting. They were just, there was no sugarcoating it, no nuance to them. They were just really gross, disgustingly hard timings in the level for no reason. They just felt like blatant choke points, and I think it's one of those situations where, because this was probably played on a much lower refresh rate, potentially 60 Hz when it was verified, I don't know if 144 was like a thing when this came around. This may very well have been verified on 60. Because of that, I think that stuff like the start ship probably would have felt harder or comparably difficult to this ball, right? And then like the waves later on, like this wave would have felt impossible on 60, I'm sure, right? This wave wasn't my favorite. The spam through here was annoying, and obviously I can't complain too much that the coin was hard, because the whole point of the coin is to be hard. This skip is funny. There's no extra portals here to stop you from skipping the speed portal, and as long as you hit the undual portal, whatever the fuck this is called, the single portal, I don't know. As long as you hit this portal, you can survive just fine and do this part slow, which was very nice, because I think if I had done this part fast, it would have been really annoying. This wave part just doesn't, it's just not, like, well made. You know what I mean? Like, it's not good. I really strongly dislike it, but whatever. It was fine because of that skip, and the skip's a little goofy too. It's not an easy skip to pull off, so I didn't feel too bad about it, right? It was tricky to actually like dodge under this, and then get back up through the gap between this, and then kind of regain your composure, whatever. It wasn't an easy skip, because you could also just completely avoid this portal, and then still be dual over here, and then obviously you can't survive this. This part was genuinely free, even though I died to it twice. This memory part is great, loved it. It got really, really, really consistent once I learned it, slept on it, and came back to it. I think I died here 2, maybe 3 times from 0, which is not bad. This part got really consistent. Absolutely loved that part. This wave, also very fun. The portals are set up in a way that you can go into them both too early and too late. If you go in too early, you won't hit the portal in time and you'll die. If you go in too late, the portal will, activate a little too early and you'll end up hitting the next slope up, right? Which that was annoying, but I mean, you can in theory chalk that up to the clicks just being slightly more difficult, right? I didn't like that was a thing, but it was fine. It was a minor issue. It only happened to me like twice from 0. I died in this wave a lot just because of nerves. When I was practicing this wave was like free. The only things I died to, genuinely the only things I died to in this wave when practicing were the portal turnarounds that would bug every now and then. This cube's pretty much fine. I died to it a bunch just because I'm like a fucking moron, but it was fine. And then this ball is mostly fine. This click, however, I need for my own sanity to check how many frames this click is. I just need to know. I just need to know. For my own well-being, I need to know how many frames this click is. Show hitbox, show trajectory, frame stepper. Here we go. Alright, so keep in mind that we need to be able to get up and then back down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 will survive. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 will survive. 7 will survive. 8 will survive. 9 will not. Okay, cool. So we have an 8 frame in an effectively invisible part at 61. Yeah, that's really cool. So, needless to say, this was the other major complaint I had with the level. I died to it, I want to say, 4 times from 0. Yeah, it was pretty actively shit. Like, that click just should not be in the level. That's disgusting. Because the object line goes black here, right? So you really can't see these invisible objects, or the normal ones, for that matter. So this click is, for all intents and purposes, blind. Like, you can see it coming up, and then it gets dark as it gets close to you, but for an 8-frame click, that's bullshit. Like, that's pretty bullshit. The rest of this ball's fine if you know what you're doing. I died in here a bunch. I died to 62 twice, 63, 65 twice, and then my worst death was 67 because I got here, remembered, oh, there's a double click coming up. I need to go grab my spacebar, and just, like, didn't click out of this gap right here. And then from there, I fluked the rest. Because genuinely, once you get past this ball, once you get past this click right here, the rest of this level's, like, genuinely free. Honestly, there's very little difficulty left in the level. This part is just straight up memory, and there's almost no difficulty to executing it. There's like 1 or 2 clicks that are a timing, and yeah, there's like double input here to get the blue orb stick. This memory is fine. You just have to know that it doesn't go with the beat of the music, so you want to start saying your number. If you do memory, how I do memory, where you start saying numbers, you want to know to say your numbers at a consistent rate based on what you're seeing before the screen goes black, because you can't rely on the beat of the music, because the blocks are just slightly closer together than the beat of the song. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. The transition into the ship was kind of weird, because if you like straight fly into it, you'll like touch these spikes or get close to them, right? So you kind of had to dip down in there. Not a big complaint. This upside down portal being invisible was kind of annoying. Again, not a huge complaint. Like, you can deal with it. This is a big 2-block gap. It's not a major problem, but it was kind of annoying. This wave was fine. This ball was really the last bit of difficulty that I didn't like. This gap right here in particular is just kind of gross. It's not necessarily super unfair, like it's a decently big timing window, but just at the end of the level with a kind of weird setup and transition in, I don't know, this ball felt awkward. I'm glad I fluked this. I was definitely kind of expecting at least one death. Well, I wasn't expecting a death here. It was pretty much a coin flip on whether or not I would die there. And then this wave is a bit of a butt clencher. It's not that bad once you learn it. If you're good at like consistent slow wave with like fair gaps, it'll be fine. This turnaround at this portal here was really the only thing I would ever really worry about. This spike maybe on the triple click there, and this portal maybe, but like they weren't a problem, right? This wave was pretty much fine, and then that's the level. So I think if you want to play an older level, like a classic, you know, early 2.0 Demon, this is a great choice. Just be conscious of the fact that 18, at least for me, never got consistent. There are a ton of ball clicks that carry the difficulty way more than they should. But the rest of this level is genuinely really good. Like I say, the memory bits were great. I mean, the first memory UFO is iconic, and it plays really well once you learn it. Everything else was, at worst, I had no complaints. At best, genuinely really satisfying to pull off. So I would definitely recommend this with the heavy asterisk of be willing to die at choke points a lot, right? Because like I say, that one transition at 18 and the 5 ball clicks, 4 in the first, 1 in the second, were genuinely almost ruining the level for me. And the only thing that kind of brought it back was A, that pseudo fluke I just had, and B, being in a voice call with people keeping me sane. I think if I was alone, I'd be giving this a slightly lower enjoyment rating, but I wouldn't be being unrealistic either. Like I say, aside from the flaws that this level has, the core gameplay of so many of the parts is just good. It's just really good. So, you know, there you go. 28-14 attempts, Betrayal of Fate. Awesome. Got this done for memory. I mean, this has one of the most iconic memory parts in any level, so I was like, this seems fitting. It's a bit of a stretch difficulty-wise, not necessarily for, like, my skill cap, but it's not like Lost Love, where it was like, oh, this is barely an extreme, right? Like, this is definitely up there in difficulty, so it feels good to do. I was glad I got this one done. Yeah, good stuff. I'm gonna cut the recording here now. Bye.